All right, so this is within Asana, okay? So let me walk you through. So I told you step one, right? We need to prioritize. We need essentially a catch-all, right, for all of our to-do lists, our to-do items. So this is an example, okay? So here on Asana, and you can use whatever you want, but Asana is what we typically use. We've created something called personal tasks, right? Which have a bunch of things that I've heard listed out. Now, we throw any time that something comes up, on my mind, or somebody, I need to, anything that comes up, I throw it on this master task list. Now, each week when I go to plan, right, we come into this task list, and then we organize the date, when it's due, what needs to happen. So we go down the list. So I'm assigned to all these because these are my personal tasks, goal or project. Okay, I just have it as a drop down, so I can, whatever it applies to, right? Then we need to choose a due date. Let's choose a couple due dates of this, okay? So let's see. Weekly planning outline. Going to do that today, obviously, because I'm recording it for y'all. Send Vic taxes. Never going to do that, but I actually did it yesterday. So I need to check that guy off. Outline for the webinar. The webinar, I'll do that tomorrow. Social media replies, I'll do that Friday. Password for Cindy, I need to do that today. That is way behind, right? So I choose some due dates, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. Now then, remember, we, number one, create a master task list. Then we need to assign each task to a goal or a project like we just did. Set a deadline or a due date, right? And then we need to set a priority as well. Setting a priority is imperative, right? So we have number one is a top priority. So let's find a one here. I would say that this one is a one for me. High, right? Then you have a two, which I told you is important, but we still have some wiggle room. So let's say social media replies, okay, something like that. And then number three, these are tasks that, once again, we want to get done, but somebody else might be able to do them, like record a screen share. Boom. All right, so now we've prioritized a couple. Now, step 5, right, is our time estimate. So how long are these things going to take? Okay, so to create a webinar outline, that's probably going to take me 30 to 60 minutes. To get Cindy the info, 15 to 30 minutes. Send Natty and Kenna pictures for their board. Those are two little girls in Texas that I love to death, and they have a pin board that is like right in their office area where they do their school. And I noticed that I'm not on the pin board, and so I need to send them a picture to make sure that they see my smiling face on their board. That's another topic. Okay, choose some time frames, right? And then remember, the 6th step is energize, drain, neutral. Okay, energize, drain, neutral. So creating a webinar, energize, neutral, I guess. That was neutral. Weekly planning outline, energize. If you can't tell, I am energized by doing this. Social media replies, not my favorite thing, but we'll call it neutral. Okay, now when I come in, so I would do that for all of those, obviously, right? Now when I come in, I can see the time frames that it's going to take me. Is it going to, drain me, or is it going to, is it neutral? Is it going to energize me? What's the priority? What project or goal is it actually moving me towards, right? And then we can plan the week. Now, if you look and click on calendar, you start to see when the due dates are, the things that we just did, right? So weekly planning outlines due today, passwords, webinars tomorrow, right? So it starts showing me these things that we need to put together. So as you choose your due dates, now I can move these around, right? Let's say I want to move that here. You know what? That's going to take too long. Let's put it here. You know what? That's yesterday, so I'm going to do it here, right? You start to play around and plan your week, and you become way more efficient. Now, I put all my stuff on Google Calendar. Okay, that's what I use. If I'll be honest, I never look at this here. But you choose what you would look at, right? But for me, I never use this. I usually use Google Calendar, but I'll take my personal weekly tasks from my list and then schedule them onto Google Calendar. So you'll see my Google Calendar. Let's just go ahead and pull that up. All right, so here's my weekly calendar as an example, okay? You can view it. This is for the day. Okay, now I can also view it for the week. So if I'm going to schedule it, if I'm going to be planning for the week, I'll come in and I'll do this. You'll see that, I account for as many hours as possible. And you'll also see that this week is a whole lot of content outlines for this guy, as long as the date night, some family time, and never miss my morning routine. So you get to plan your week, you get a good idea of what's going. All All right. Hope that helps get you dialed in for what you need to do.
All right, guys. So let's break this down and show you what you will be using to deliver on each week regarding your weekly planning and execution. First, this process should take place before your week starts, okay? You do not want to be playing catch up right off the bat Monday morning. You'll get run down, you'll rush, and it just will not work at the level of efficiency required for achieving your goals and then some. Sunday mornings, early. This is a great time to complete your weekly planning sessions. And I'm really not going to budge on this, and I'm going to tell you that that is the time. Sunday mornings are grand when it comes to this. This involves getting up before everyone else in the house if you live with someone. Okay, get up before the sun comes up. You'll feel better, I promise. It might be a little tough at first, but get up and WTM, just like we teach. Okay, win the morning, and win the morning on Sundays specifically with the best planning session possible. So get up before everyone else in the house, take care of yourself first, and then jump into the planning session with your full focus. Grab yourself your morning beverage, nice cozy cup of coffee or a glass of water, apple cider, whatever floats your boat, and get comfortable. Okay, so weekly review, that is first. First, you are going to put your past week up for review. For this, you will be using the weekly planning page here. Reflection is key. Use this page to identify wins from the past week, as well as identify areas of improvement, areas where maybe you fell a little short, or areas where you want to ramp it up a hair. On this page, you will also be rewriting your 12-week goals in preparation for the week to come. This is to help these goals bleed back into the forefront of your mind. Remember, the principle is that you give power to what you focus on. It's not just a principle, it's truth. Within the goal rewrite, you will need to take a few moments and revisit your why for each goal, as well as keep building on the how. You will notice that there is also a reward section here. This is space specifically designed for you to continually identify the tangible and intangible rewards that your efforts will yield in the future weeks to come. The notes section is simply there for extra space as needed. Use your autonomy and use it as needed as a tool for whatever you identify as important, okay? However, it may relate to the contents of whatever else is included on that particular page. All right, weekly planning. That is the second part of the planning process within your journal. Okay, this page right here is built to help you organize your week. It is your job to go through the planning process as detailed in the previous video, and then organize your actions, tasks, and goals within the weekly framework provided on this page right here. If you're a little lost or you feel stressed, go back, rewatch the video prior to this audio breakdown, okay? Gain some clarity and come back. No stress. You will see that there is space on this page to organize the execution for each day of the week, okay? It's your weekly calendar. If you've gone through the thorough planning process correctly, as described in the previous video, mapping out your week should be relatively simple here. Divide the tasks out, organize your activities accordingly, and write down any important deadlines that will be popping up midweek. Okay? Again, use your autonomy with the note space provided and include any additional details you feel are necessary. That takes us to our third piece here and the last piece, the daily pages. Okay? Within the journal, you will find space within each day's progression that has been designed specifically for pivotal actions and tasks. This space is where you will identify that day's most important tasks and actions, as well as block out the time necessary for completing them. These actions are things you should be organizing and planning the day prior. Here's the process. Plan during your nightly review. Visit the tasks and double check everything as part of your morning routine, and then revisit anything as necessary throughout the progression of each day. I always love doing a midday growth guide check-in, a midday journal check-in, okay? These 3 pages that we've just discussed, they work in tandem with one another, on paper, on purpose, across the board, so that you can take action on purpose, with purpose, every single day. That is what your goals will require of you. As always, reach out and ask questions if needed. Tyler and I are always available, or we'll make ourselves available with time. In the meantime, I'd like to leave you with this quote by Dale Carnegie as we wrap up the weekly planning series. An hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing. Happy planning, everyone.